Goodbye, 2024, and welcome to 2025.
We are taking a look back at some of our most popular episodes from 2024.
We hope you enjoyed these clips, and we'll see you next week for a brand new episode of Castle Talk Radio. Happy New Year!
You're listening to Castle Talk Radio. We're live on the airwaves with Becca and Jessica. Now let's jump into this week's episode.
Yeah, speaking of names, Jessica, I found a really interesting fact in my searches. Do you know what Donald's parents' names are?
Oh my goodness. I mean, I know he has an uncle, but who are his parents? We know his sister, his nephews, his uncle. Who are these parents?
Their names are Quackmore and Hortense Stuck. Or maybe it's
Okay,
Hortensia.
so
And maybe, yeah.
those are some names. And then Uncle Scrooge. So those
Yes.
are three of the names of that generation, the older duck generation. That's very interesting.
We need a duck family tree.
Yes, we do. That is so funny. Interesting. I wonder if they have ever shown up in Disney films. That's something that or cartoon shorts. That would be really funny to see and create that tree. We might have to start working on that. Doing a little more research.
So first, I'm going to say that you lied because that wasn't the last time you used it. We were just at
True.
the Grand Californian for Pixar Fest kickoff, and we
Okay,
utilized
so
it.
if there is a lie in the podcast, we will be sure to have Becca call me out on it. So one of my strategies involves waiting until early entry is almost over to get in line for Peter Pan, because most people are going to use early entry time to ride Peter Pan, and then they've already done it. So you can do other attractions nearby and just make sure you hop in line for Peter Pan's flight right before they open to regular guests. Now, that could be the same for something like Space Mountain as well. So you know it's open, you know it's been running, and you want to ride some other things first. Totally cool. And you can do that, like almost use that to your advantage as well to ride it multiple times. One time I think I did Peter Pan like 4 times during early entry just to see how many times I could go on it. And it was a lot of fun, but there's definitely a little part in there where it clears out. So that could be a good option. So with those 3 things in mind, clean, budget friendly, and close to the parks, I would say my top 2 picks would be the Anaheim Hotel and Camelot.
Ooh, okay. Those are some good picks. Okay. So I would have to say mine would be Suncoast, which is a little farther away, but has some great things about it. And then I was kind of shocked you didn't put Grand Legacy in there. So
It's just not top of mind to me because I haven't stayed there in so long. And their budget rooms, their cheapest rooms, I would not stay in. So I want to stay in their deluxe rooms.
Yeah.
The map version isn't one that I use a ton. Where I like to go from this is to show list, which is the top right of that screen. I just prefer it that way. I think it's easier to see the wait times alphabetically. When you're looking for wait times, do you usually go for the list or the map?
I do the map, but I have my GPS turned on for this.
Okay.
And so it will pull, when I pull up the map from inside the parks, it will pull up the area I'm in. So I'm usually looking like really close. If I'm just trying to decide which ride to go to next, I like to do that. However, if I'm doing our tips that we shared in our Insider Secrets, where I'm trying to find a ride that's down for closure, for that one, I actually prefer to go to the Lightning Lane list instead of here. We talked about Lightning Lane, and so I want to get into this one. This is really cool. When you and I are in the parks together, we do this a lot, and we book Lightning Lanes for rides that are currently down. Do you want to explain why we do that, Jessica?
Yeah, especially if they have a return time window that is approaching very quickly. because those lightning lanes then turn into a multi-experience, which means that you'll be able to use it on a ride of your choice within the listed guidelines later on, and it's no longer restricted to that time frame. So it's kind of like a free lightning lane to use later on. And then again, there are some attractions you can use it on that don't typically have lightning lane.
Yeah, and it's really easy within the app. There'll be a spot on your multi-experience pass that says, what can I use this on? And you'll just click on that and it'll give you a list. Normally it's not good for the ones that have individual lightning lanes unless it came from one of those. And it's not good for usually Peter Pan and a few others, but it's really nice to get those and build them up. And so sometimes we'll do that and we'll just rebook it as soon as we get that multi-experience over and over and over. And so that is something that insiders do differently, but it's not like super public. So
how much do you think that those things were super important to having a successful day at Universal?
I do. And it's really tricky because we're having this exact conversation on my Facebook page right now. And it is tough because that express pass is basically going to double your ticket amount. And people are discussing, is it worth it? And what if you can't? I really, from my one-time experience in the summer, I really, really hate to say that if you cannot add that you need to wait until you can.
Yeah.
However, if you already know it's out of your budget, don't try to make it don't go into debt over an express pass. That's also what we're here for. The same type of strategies that you use for theme parks, like getting there early and prioritizing lines, will help you here.
They love Seven Dwarfs Mine Train, and I'm going to have to insert a picture here if you are watching this on YouTube, because my one kid said he loved it. It's his favorite ride, but you look at the ride photo and he literally looks like he is signaling to the camera that he is being held against his will.
Oh my goodness, I need to see that. That is amazing. About Disneyland trends and if it's worth it or not.
Let's do it.
Okay, first one is a new-ish. It's been around for a bit, but it's the garlic cheesy pretzel bread. I've seen it on Instagram. I've seen it a ton. It influenced me to try it, and I have to say, this one that you can get a couple places at Disneyland is worth the hype. It is so good. Now, I know you're not a foodie, Becca, but it is like almost like a pizza in a pretzel bread. So it's like quite large and has that pretzel bread on the outside, cheese and garlic on the inside. And then you can purchase an upgrade for the marinara sauce or ranch. And it is so good. I actually get marinara and ranch both times, like both of them. And I trade it off of like which one I dip it. And we'll usually share amongst the group. You could do 2 or 3 people per one. Or if you want to make it like a meal, you can just have one all to yourselves. I've even refrigerated mine and eaten it cold, the leftovers. Still good.
Okay, but have you seen the new part of this trend where you get that and then you go to the Bengal barbecue and get one of the meat skewers and take that meat off and put it inside?
Yes, and I've seen lots of other like mashups with different things where you get one thing from one place and one thing from another. And I say that's not worth the hype because I don't want to have to go over and like collect my random assortment of food items just to have something cool to show off online.
Ooh,
I don't know. Maybe I'm a party pooper.
The holiday season at Disneyland Resort, and we are going to reveal some secrets, right? Chris,
Wait.
are you ready? What?
No, I'm not ready. I think we need, I don't know if you guys ever thought about this because you guys like castles.
Yes.
A tidy castle is a very neat fortress.
Here we go. This is what we're here for.
I felt like that seemed appropriate. So
That was very, very appropriate. Starting us off with the dad joke.
Yeah. Okay.
Do you have any other toxic traits that we should know about?
Me, definitely. I'm sure I have a ton. But I don't know. You probably be better at saying what one of my
to spill yours. Okay, Jessica's toxic trait is she always thinks that she's going to be able to stay out late.
I did beat you this last
She
trip.
has started, yeah. Well, I didn't even try this last time, but she has started once in a while staying out pretty late at the parks, and I'm pretty proud of her for that. But she's always like, oh yeah, I'm going to stay for fireworks. And then she's like, no, I didn't make it to fireworks.
Yeah, it's a lie. It's a lie. I usually don't. One of Becca's toxic Disney traits is skipping a locker and carrying around all of your gear in your backpack. True?
I usually do carry all around because the problem is I don't want to have to run back to the locker to get something.
It's just toxic.
Thank you for checking out our favorite clips and most popular episodes from this last year. As our gift to you, if you head to castletalkradio.com and click on freebies, you can find a Disney-themed New Year's resolution sheet to help you set goals for the new year.
And we'll see you next week with a brand new episode.